Herbivore. Herbivore.
Hello. I think my chair's going to fall to bits any second. Have I got the wrong chair, Jim? I think I have. If I suddenly fall over, you'll know why. Welcome. Thanks for joining, everybody. Jesse Salazar, the music is great. See? Huh?
What mean?
The music is great.
Good.
Gemma was telling me I need to change my music, and I think that that's a terrible accusation. Rena May, never clicked so fast, Jay. I'm the first one. You were almost the first one. My bad, I'm the second one. Hi, Hench. You are wonderful. I love you. Thanks for being so kind. Jesse and Runa, I don't recognise your names. Where in the world are you? How's the vegan scene there? And how is veganism treating you? I like to find out about new people. Sexy Salamander in the hizzy. Good old John Doe. How you doing, my friend? Vegmet Codbod. Hey. Ben Scaletta. Hi, how are you? I think that's another new face. I'm very good. How are you? And same questions. Where in the world are you? How's the vegan scene? How are you getting on with the old vegan, nutrition and way of life? How are you faring? Or are you vegan curious, perhaps? Or maybe you're here to kick off and you're anti-vegan. Let us know. Big Spoon, good evening. Think we're being spoiled with so much of your time. Well, you're very kind. I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying streaming now. I used to have kind of, initially I had a phobia of broadcast, and then I like streaming with Gem. It takes the pressure off a bit, but solo streams I never really enjoyed, but I thought it's good practice to get my confidence up. But now I'm loving it, and I don't want to stop. I don't ever want to come off. So I'm glad I slayed that dragon. And it's all thanks to you guys being so kind and hanging out with me. Big Spoon Bear, good evening. I've already said that. Blumenek. Johnny Mayen. Hello. Private Mayen. Good to see you. Big Spoon Bear, is Paul having a poo? How dare you? Usually I am, but I was actually having a wee. Because not only do I eat a lot of fibre, I also drink a lot of fluids. I've been having a sore throat lately. I thought I was coming down with something. And what suddenly clicked for me is I'm doing 3 hours of non-stop talking every day, minimum, which I didn't used to do on the live stream. So remind me to drink a bit of this every few sentences, can you? Michael Askew in the hizzy. Don't know how I missed you there. Unknown error. Good to see you. Luca, the beginning music is always too much for me. Oh, there's one vote against the theme tune. I'm watching you, son. Guys, what do you all think? Let's put it to the vote. Should we have a music change? We've not had a music change in all the years that we've been going. So it's probably 5 or 6 years we have had the same theme. Should we change the theme? And what genre of music would be good? Vote now. I may actually listen for once. Lolly's in the house. Good to see you. Jesse is in Salt Lake City, Utah, USA. Nice. And yeah, how's the vegan scene? I've never heard. How's the vegan scene there? Is there one even? Big Spoon's eating some great things. That's good to hear. Flatlander Montgomery's here as always. Good to see you. Stacey Langley, of course. Flatlander is in California today. Nice. On vacation, live in Chicago area. Oh, that's very cool. I bet you're having Fun. How's it going? What sort of stuff have you been up to? I imagine the weather's pretty good, is it? Big Spoon Bear, where's the specs? Don't tell me you put them down and lost them. Nah, well, you're probably just having a laugh. Yeah, normally I wear my old contacts. Runa is in Alberta, Canada. It's pretty good here. Love you too, man. I thank you. One of my first inspirations. Nice. You, Joey and Ed, maybe you want to go vegan. You are the sweetest. Well, you're welcome here anytime if you're going to talk to me like that. Thank you very much. Oh, and so how long have you been vegan for, and how are you feeling? Are you feeling like good, or how's it going? Any benefits have you noticed? And, do you eat quite whole foods based, or are you more of a vegan for the animals and, you just eat whatever you fancy? Not that it matters. I'm just interested. I like to hear when people are whole foods vegan. I like to hear if they've had any success stories. Sarah, good to see you. Lovely. Joe Taro again. Hi, Paul. Hi to you. Big Spoon Bear. Music isn't too bad, but if you're doing it, something like Body Count. I used to love Body Count. I was a huge Ice-T fan. In fact, I saw him in Norwich. He came to my town to do a, what do you call it? Like a jam? No, it's what do you normally call it? Like a concert, or not a concert? I don't even know. He performed. Body count, body mofo count. I loved it. I actually had the Cop Killer CD before they had to remove the Cop Killer track. Ruining my light again. Terrible. Flatlander, I like the music because it's your unique thing. Thank you. Yeah, it's important to have branding, and I feel like I'm trying to be high octane, like entertaining, like, bit kind of, I don't know if alpha's the word, but do you know what I mean? Like a bit like, and energy. Adam Edgecombe, Barbershop Quartet. Not so much. Not so much. That would be a change. Andre's in the hizzy. He's great. Thursday stream. Andre, I've been streaming every day, twice a day in recent days. Said the word day a lot then, didn't I? Yeah, so... bloody hell, what was that? About 8 or 9 a.m. and about 6 p.m. GMT. I'm on one for about an hour and a half nowadays. So, yeah, please poke your head in whenever you're free. It's good to see a friendly face. And do subscribe to Doodle Machine channel if you like your artwork. And Andre is a pro. Literally, that is what he does for a living. Flatlander is staying near Santa Cruz. That means cross, doesn't it? I think it's been chilly, but I saw some sea lions yesterday. Nice. Do you know there's a type of sea lion that lives on land? Yeah, they're called land sea lions. Name that show. Ben, so I started vegan about a month ago. Only eat vegans now. Ha ha. Joking aside, I've lost 10 pounds. Wow. And my blood pressure is lower now too. Very good. Are you eating quite whole foodsy, like legumes, whole grains, fruits, vegetables, nuts and seeds? Are you like heavy on those? I'm going to guess you are, to have lost that amount of weight so quickly. Very good. Lolly, Hench, Joey and Ed are like the holy trinity of veganism. Ah, well, that's very kind. I don't know if I put myself in the same bracket as those two legends, but that's a kind thing to say. No, I'm awesome. What am I on about? Jesse, the vegan scene here in Utah is slow but steadily improving. I've always been non-existent a few years back. Good. I'm glad it's picking up. Have you got a few vegan friends? Do you have like a meet-up group there, or do people get together for activism, anything like that? Ruin it. It's a bit intense music, but it's good to keep the brand going. Exactly. And I suppose you can always turn it down is an option. But yeah, I don't know. If more people would like a change, you know, then yeah, I would change it. Don't know what to though. Jotaro, I think keep the music, but maybe we'll take something else to mix it up. Interesting. I like your angle. Johnny Main, I'm an older metalhead, but it's Hench's channel and does it need changing? If you don't like it, you can turn it down. Yeah, until he starts talking. Yep. Adam, the music is great, unique to you. Okay, so people are tending to not mind it at least. Lolly, could you use a diesel automatic tune maybe? Yeah. Oh yeah. What about vegan, like gladiators? Yeah. What about if I use the Diesel's Gladiators tune, Gem?
Yeah.
Lolly's just said.
Could you make like a mix, glue a few tracks together, great ones like that, and in case you like have it, you know, people waiting for like 10 minutes or something, there could be like 2 or 3 like really great songs. That'd be nice.
That's an interesting concept. Use gladiators as theme. Okay, I'll see what he says. I'm sure he won't mind. He's a lovely man. Eliza's in the hizzy. Good to see you. Sarah, by the way, thank you for the recommendation last time, Paul. I did hybrid extensions today and it worked wonderfully. Fantastic. I'm glad to hear that. Very good. Makes it all worthwhile. Blood Hill, evening all. Saw you up at the Asdas. Yeah, I really enjoyed that experience and making that video. And that's done the best out of the last at least 10 videos. It's doing the best in terms of like views in that amount of time. So people seem to be responding to it. So I'll probably do 1 or 2 at least follow-ups. In case you've not seen it, my son has decided to try a plant-based diet with a view possibly to going vegan. And yeah, so we took him for his first food shop and told him like the deal. Please do check out that video if you get a chance. It's doing well in the old algorithms. Yeah, I know what you mean, Lolly. Oh, yeah, I'll probably use the Gladiators track. Yeah, I love it. Andre, so this is awkward, but I figured you might have some advice. I have a sore lump behind my nipple. 39 years old, slim man, went to the doctor, not cancer. He thought it might be gynecomastia. Never done steroids. I think it might be hormonal since I've had some ED issues and I suspect I have low testosterone. So that wouldn't necessarily be low testosterone, but obviously it's like an elevated estrogen thing for that. I don't think low test would give you gyno, unless it's to do with test estradiol ratio. I don't think it is. I think it's total estradiol. So unless like some of your test is being aromatized into estradiol. Andre, I don't want to go on TRT if I don't need to, so I want to optimize diet and lifestyle before going that route. Suggestions. I've got a feeling that it might be related. I'm not an endocrinologist, so you might be wise to speak to one of those guys. I would have thought that low test would give you gyno. I would have thought. But yeah, maybe you aromatizing test into estrogen. And I mean, there's drugs that mitigate that, aromatase inhibitors like Arimidex and some things work in different ways. You've got like tamoxifen and different things. But of course, they are medications with like potential side effects. You'd have to work closely with an endo to get the level right. I wouldn't. I know you know, as much as I sort of poo-poo modern medicine, and I, you know, I try to go the health route, like, you know, lifestyle, particularly like nutrition, I don't know of anything that would really probably have any clinical significant difference. And I personally wouldn't be adverse to someone, you know, if test is low, you know, I think you're just putting in like what you ought to naturally be producing. And I don't see that as too unhealthy. And actually there is science to show that low test, I think it can contribute to heart disease. I know it's not helpful to have lower than like a normal like range for a man. So yeah, you do you. And again, I'm no endocrinologist, but I personally wouldn't be adverse to it, because it's not like you're doing super physiological doses that are going to do harm. You just replace it. You know, yeah, 39, you're going to be getting into that andropause like stage where, you know, you are slowing your test production. And what do women do, you know, when they get into a certain age? Like they replace estrogen, menopause. So it's no different really. And I think that it could improve your health most likely, if anything. But again, like, you know, who am I? I'm just someone who have used steroids like a nutcase in my youth. And yeah, I'm no doctor. I'm certainly no endocrinologist. So yeah, you do you, and maybe seek professional advice. But that's my gut feeling for what it's worth. But I certainly wouldn't do like super physiological doses. I would just be putting in, you know, what Mother Nature is not. So I think like, is it 50 to 75 milligrams of test like per week? And ideally, oftentimes they give you like weekly, or if you're really unlucky, like a shot every 3 weeks, and that makes your serum testosterone go all over the place. So I would really suggest trying to do smaller doses, but doing it like every 3 days or something for a long-acting test. I think that would give you a more optimal effect. But yeah, I can't think of anything diet and lifestyle that will really do a whole lot. I mean, you can affect it to a degree, like hard training, you know, good diet. You know, so your diet's not going to boost it unless you're suboptimal with like a poor diet already. But I'm imagining your diet's pretty good, is it, already? So that probably wouldn't really help. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say, really. There may be things you can do, but my understanding is if anything particularly was to work well, like a supplement or something, like pretty soon it would likely be banned and become like a prescription medication almost, if it's having like that serious of an effect on people's testosterone. That's my understanding. Again, I'm no expert. I don't profess to be. Flatlander, I lost 70 pounds eating vegan, still have a few extra. Well, you're doing well. Yeah, Asda are bloody great for vegans. Hey, Blood Hill, really good. Luke Award, it's 5:15 a.m. here in New Zealand. Probably should go to sleep soon. Yep, I'm definitely not a healthy vegan like you, but I'm doing for my non-human homies. Your content is awesome, bro. Well, thank you very kindly. I really appreciate you, my friend. That's really nice. And yeah, bless you. Good man. Jeff Carter, hey Hench, I'm 23. I've been plant-based for 7 months now. I love to eat white rice and white rice, quinoa pastas. Is it alright if I eat a lot of white rice? It's certainly not optimal. It's going to have a less beneficial effect on like your blood sugar. I think it's going to be lower in nutrients. I'm not a fan personally. You could certainly eat things like that a lot healthier, I would say. Whether it'll like kill you, like, you know, probably not. If you're eating a lot of refined things, that means you're not eating so much healthier things. So I think you can infer that you're not going to have quite such a good health potential, and maybe it could shorten your life or you know, opening up to disease like earlier on. Yeah, I wouldn't personally do it myself. Rebel Vegan, really enjoyed your recent video with your son. Well, that's funny because he's next in the chat, bless him. Mostly shopping for vegan whole foods, mostly. Yeah, he's a good boy. I tried to palm a bit more processed stuff off on him because I was worried if he's too whole foods, whether it'll upset his gut. I did speak in the video about dysbiosis, and then after the fact I realised I don't really explain what that is. So, yeah, if you just go too mad from a less than stellar diet and suddenly smashing tons of fibre, if your gut microbes are set up because of the food you were eating historically, you could have a bad time of it until those like change around, and so you can have gas bloating, changes in gut motility, all that kind of thing. So, yeah, but I think, Carl, is it fair to say that you eat a lot of healthy produce anyway? And hi, son, hi. Hey, first couple of days have been good, thank you. Slowly swapping meals around. Very good. Can we have a round of applause, please, for my son? Because, well, I'm a proud father. Oh, yeah, mate. Have you seen all the lovely comments on our video, Carl? People are loving you. People are loving you. And so that is the best video for at least the last 10 videos. It's at the #1 spot in terms of engagement. So thanks. We better get you back on. How's it going? Any hiccups? Are you feeling okay? How's it going? Rena May, that's not for me. Andre, thanks for your thoughts. I'm definitely going to be talking to the doctors and optimize everything on diet, lifestyle, and first. I was thinking maybe up on my fat intake. How many grams of fat are you having? If you're already having like say 30, I mean, I'm just inferring. I sort of say 30. I think from what I understand, I think there's probably no further benefit. Basically, you need a certain amount to build the hormones that your body is asking for. But just because you put more building blocks in doesn't mean to say that it will build more, unless you were suboptimal in terms of, you know, the substrates with which to build the hormones from. So, yeah, if you were much under 30, I think, yeah, that might be it. But yeah, say you had 100 grams in, well, I will certainly would not expect that to help up thyroid in case it's a thyroid-related thing. Up to iodine, sorry. Have you had a look on Chronometer and checked like all your nutrient levels? Zinc is an important one for testosterone, so that is a potential one. But yeah, you know, we don't know the half of nutrition, and I think if any of your nutrients are lower, you know, it's just worth bumping them up and seeing if that does it. I hope you get some relief soon. Rebel Vegan Hench, what do you think about yoga? I love it. I do it on the daily. Yeah, I do 3 rounds of sun salutations every morning. I think it's fantastic. I mean, I've never done it like properly and got like the sort of spiritual benefits or whatever, but I know there's plenty to be had. But it keeps me in good nick. It keeps me able to walk around and function despite lifting like stupidly heavy weights and doing like loads of martial arts for years and like bashing my body up. It's the only thing that keeps me functional, really. If I neglect to do it for a while, I'm in pieces, and I don't really want to move off the sofa, if I'm honest. Dom Dowd is in the hizzy. Jamet's here. Nice to see you also. Andre, I want to say, love that video of your son. Thank you. I got some great tidbits of info. I've heard you talk about all the stuff before, but still learn something. Yeah, it's hard to remember all the things, isn't it? And I was sort of conscious how I've said all this stuff before on the channel, but I think if new vegans are watching it, or, you know, vegans wanting to optimize their diet, it's probably like valuable information. So yeah, I kept it all in. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and that was one of my most fun videos ever to make, to be fair. Jesse, I have a few friends who are also vegan. I hit the gym with Nice. There's a local Utah vegan page where people post recipes, new restaurants and nutrition tips. Fantastic. That really helps, doesn't it, to have a bit of community? That's super cool. Dom Dowd, ashwagandha is supposed to be good for test. Yeah, so that's one of them their adaptogens. My understanding, yeah, it is good. It can do a lot of good things. However, it's fleeting, and then things will kind of go back to the way they were. So it's something to use. I think the time I would use it is if I suddenly had a lot more stress to deal with for a time. I would keep it in for a short time while there was that stress. And then as I was coming out of that, I'd take it out again because it will become ineffectual, apparently, is the problem. And again, like, I don't know how much it would help. Yeah, I don't really know. I don't know that it would necessarily be powerful enough in terms of tests. Certainly good for lowering cortisol, though, I understand. Daniela, I had a weird dream about you last night. I shan't ask, mostly because the missus is sitting over there. Daniel, Lolly, can I ask what happened? No, you may not. Hench is making the rounds. He popped into my dream the other week. Bloody hell, rollerblading and handing off veggies. You guys are crazy. I am a bit of a dreamboat, though, so I do understand that. Crazy. What a crazy job I have. Stains there, Robert Pacino. Jam it. Be awesome if the panda was a video and we could watch her munch away in the background. That would be cool, wouldn't it? I wonder if I can have a video like on a loop. I don't even know. Possibly. Mooncat will know, and he's here. Do you subscribe to the vegan Mooncat? He's flipping great. Been chatting to him most of the day. I don't know what's going to happen when he has to work for a living. I'll have no mates. Lolly, has anyone had garlic turn blue? My garlic turned blue yesterday. Is it a normal thing and still safe to eat? Yeah, I've never heard of that. I'd be suspicious of mold, maybe, but if it's happened really quick, I'm not really too sure, really. Bloodhill, Paul, I remember you saying you don't do pull-ups. My others hate them, and I was wondering what do you do instead? Pull-downs. Pull-downs. And I think one of the tricks to pull-ups and pull-downs is to use like visualization, and don't think of pulling like with your arm and then like you got strain in here. I actually think of pushing with my elbow, weirdly. And so I think of a lever, a chain and a hook. So all I can do, the lever pushes down and the chain and it's a bit awkward because I'm looking on a thing which is like reverse. Oh, can I see it better on here? Yeah. So, but anyway, yeah, so you pull the lever down, you press the lever down, and the chain and the hook comes straight behind, and try to sort of relax in there almost, but really crunch with your lats. And that will probably alleviate that problem, and you'll get a more effectual workout as well. Daniela, it was really weird. He held me captive. That is the sort of thing I do, to be fair. And forced chickpeas down my throat. I like chickpeas, so I don't know why he felt the need. I just like to assert my dominance over people, really, via the medium of legumes. Gary Williams, hello you. Lovely lady, how are you getting on? Nomi E. Are you new? Where in the world are you? How are you doing? How's the vegan scene where you are? What's your best tip for someone cooking? What's your best tip for someone looking to feel healthier on their vegan diet? Download my free e-guide. It's all there. It's all there. I mean, optimize your nutrition. Eat predominantly, preferably, eat exclusively whole plant foods. Make sure you eat enough calories. You can use the Chronometer app to check that. I'll just show you the app in case you don't know him. Chronometer, Chronometer. You plug your foods in. There they all are. There's the quantities. And then it tells you, carbs, fats, protein, essential amino acids, vitamins, and minerals. So all your essential nutrients, essential fatty acids as well under the fats there. Just make sure you're doing all the things. Supplement B12, D3 in the winter months. Have some seaweed or an iodine supplement if you can't stomach the old seaweed. Consider you want to balance your omega-3 and 6. So sort of 2 to 4 at least tablespoons of ground flax or chia, and then no more than 3 or 4 to 1 in more of omega-6. So omega-3s here. At least 2.2 grams of ALA for a female, 3.2 for a male, and around 3 to 4 times that of omega-6, but no more. You can consider a DHA supplement if you want to, which would then not mean that doesn't matter, so it's quite so much. I like to take it as a fail-safe. I think that's the things in terms of optimizing your diet. Take a while to transition over. Don't eat completely healthily straight off the bat, particularly if you've been eating a less than stellar diet, because you need your gut microbes. You'll have pathogenic ones living in the colon, and then they have to die off, and you have to get more of the healthy Prevotella variety, that processed fiber effectively. So you want to just take a few short weeks to take out some of your animal products, processed junk, a bit more beans, legumes, whole grains. Did I say beans and legumes? Legumes, whole grains, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, herbs, and spices. And just take a few short weeks, I'll get my words out, to transition over. And in that way, your gut microbiome will change. You won't have too heavy of a fibre load, and then you won't be one of these sorts of people who says, I tried eating all that healthy food, but it wasn't good for my body. My body didn't like it. It's not your body that's not liking it. It's the pathogenic gut bacteria that you've invited to live in your colon, stupidly, from a terrible diet historically. So I hope that helps. Yeah, there's a free e-guide with everything I just said, plus loads more stuff. It's an overview. It's all the basics, everything you need to know. It's called How to Eat Plant-Based Successfully, and that's exactly what it does for you. And if you're finding that you want even more, like a more in-depth deep dive, my new online nutrition course is out now. The Ultimate Guide to Plant-Based Nutrition, 14 videos, 80 recipes, loads of PDFs downloadable, like helpful stuff. Basically everything you need to know. It's what really me and Gemma wish that we'd have had access to 10 years ago when we both started up. So give that a look if you want. The links below for that also. But that free e-guide is enough it's enough really. It's all in there. But cat's gone crazy.
Why did she do it?
Runa, what's your advice for people who are allergic to nightshade? Don't eat them. I hear the argument that Mom's limits the lifestyle a lot when allergic to nightshades, right? What are you laughing at?
Don't eat them.
Well, that's the best advice, isn't it? If you're allergic to something, don't eat it, and then it can't get you. Yeah, it's not going to do you good, basically. I don't think mushrooms are a nightshade, are they? Unless I've never been told that. Are mushrooms a nightshade? Certainly the other vegetables are. I don't think they can be. Because, are mushrooms considered nightshade vegetables? Well, for one thing, they're not vegetables, so that's a misnomer. They're fungi. Mushrooms are fungi and not nightshades, yeah. You're fine with mushrooms. Hoss them into you. But yeah, you're right. It does limit things somewhat. So white potatoes, tomatoes, tomatillo, okra, sorrel, all the different peppers, capsicum, paprika, the spice, cayenne pepper, like chili peppers, particularly red hot ones, aubergines, gooseberries. There's a few, but having said that, there's hundreds of thousands of foods that you can eat. So I wouldn't let that put you off. And certainly if you are allergic, you're going to feel it. And I don't think it's worth it. And you can eat round it. Like it's not too hard. You know, for the longest time, I was a whole foods vegan. I wasn't eating any gluten products. You know, it can make things a little more challenging, but it's not impossible. You know, I was avoiding oil, like refined sugar. Yeah, but I managed okay. Have I missed vegan gays? What's going on there? Oh, she's doing outreach. I see what you're saying. Bless her. Beetroot burgers, eh? Nice. Vegan Mooncat. He's the best one. You okay, General Mooncat? How's things on the moon there, on your moon base? I hope you've not had any more bother from those pesky Martians. Well, I'm miles behind, I think. Am I miles behind? Are we well busy tonight? No, it's not that busy, is it? I'm trying to work out how far behind I am in the chat, but I can't remember where I was. Oh, I don't think I'm too far behind. I mean, Cat's good. That's good to hear. You are the best one after all. Sarah, garlic turns blue because of sulfur interacting with enzymes in the garlic. It's still okay to eat and taste the same. Interesting. Never knew that. You're welcome, Blood Hill. Jesse, going plant-based helped me kick all my blood pressure meds and made my erectile dysfunction vanish. Nice. I see these pill commercials for ED and I'm like, do yoga and go plant-based. Yeah. And the other thing is, erectile dysfunction, when it's caused by a diet, you're basically at that point, your dick is the canary in the coal mine. And if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction, that's a sure sign that your coronary artery is getting blocked with atherosclerosis, the biggest killer of humans in the world. So don't get a little blue pill and think, oh, I'm fine. Change your flipping diet and stop eating animals because it is killing you. Carrie, doing all right. One day at a time, progressively healing all the things. I'm now a Reiki master. Nice. Hope it's well with you. Yeah, we're really good, and I'm glad you're doing things to expand yourself. That's a good feeling, isn't it? It's one of our human needs, is expansion. JB, name dropped you today, big man, to a Tesco assistant. She has dire health issues. I recommend you guys. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's not for me. Laura, welcome to the stream. Starting creatine for my husband and me. He's mid-60s, I'm late 50s. I want to train for bikini-type physique. He needs to build muscle. Some loss of muscle, adding more plant protein. Yeah, and just make sure that you're getting enough calories as well. That's often when people go plant-based, particularly whole foods, that we can fall down because we're eating the same volume of food, thinking like we're eating the same amount of food, but we're eating less calories because there's a lot more water and fiber and less calories. So that's important. If you're in a caloric surplus, 1.6 grams of protein per kilo of lean body weight per day is probably more than enough for most people. There's certainly no need to take more than that. If you're doing a recomp or if you're doing a diet, more like 2 grams of protein per kilo of leanish body weight per day would be better. You need actually a little more in those circumstances, surprisingly. So, but yeah, you don't need tons and tons. I think a healthy vegan diet, and then depending on how much mass you have, 1 or 2 servings of a more processed plant food, like protein powder, seitan, tempeh. Tempeh is more of a whole food. Tofu, certainly. Textured vegetable protein. I think these could be a help. Are they optimal for health? No, they're not as good as what they're displacing, which is things like legumes. But they're not too bad on the scale of things. Certainly a lot better than the dead animal-based alternatives for all concerned. Yeah, healthy food wasn't good for my body. Yeah, people say it all the time, though. They just don't see how daft they sound. Aslan in the hizzy. Bloodhill, chronometer doesn't recognise half the stuff I get living in Spain. Brands are different, yeah. That's a good reason to stick more to the whole foods. That'll even help you out in that way. Dom Dowd. And then it jumped. Bell peppers aren't they? Not cruciferous. Nightshades? Yes, indeed. Yeah, any peppers. As an hench, how would I go about working out my daily caloric intake for maintenance so I can cut down for weight loss? That doesn't make sense. You would need to be in a deficit for weight loss. Maintenance, you would maintain the weight. Do you mean for fat loss, but you want to build muscle at the same time? Is that what you're saying? And how do you think I should start off? Yeah, which is it? Are you looking for just fat loss? Or are you looking to burn fat and build muscle? So basically recomposition the body. Let me know which one it is, because the answer differs. Michael Jackson and the hizzy. Mind versus misery with a great question. Welcome to the channel, by the way. How you doing? Can one overeat nutritional use since the B vitamins are around 1200% of the RDA? What do you mean, like per what? And no, B vitamins are water soluble, so you will just pee out the excess. So that's good. Rob Smith, thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the channel, my friend. Oh, Bjorn. I just seen a super chat as well. And Bjorn the Viking, very generous with the 30 knock super chat. He's got no question. He's just got the cool fox there. High five of me. Ask me how I'm doing. Just supporting his local neighbourhood vegan YouTuber out of the kindness of his heart. As he does every stream, seemingly. He must be some sort of massive company, like conglomerate CEO or something, I think. And I think I'm in the wrong job. Thank you so much, brother. You're so generous. I love you, man. Love you. Thank you so much. Keyboard Warrior, will you ever collaborate with Simnet Nutrition? I already did. And yeah, I'd be well up for another collab. So we've been in each other's videos when we've met up at a Veg Fest because we're both Vivo Life athletes. But yeah, I'd be up for a good collab. I don't really approach him because, his channel is so much larger than mine. He gets so many more views. So it's probably not really in his interest. Mostly people tend to collaborate with people who are getting similar views. But, he's a lovely guy. That's not to say that he wouldn't, but I don't like to put people in that position where they feel like they have to say no and explain themselves, and then it's a bit weird. So yeah, I don't like to ask really. Although no doubt it would do my channel a lot of good. Dan. He hasn't heard me. You're a fun guy. Well, thank you very much. Terrible. That's a dad joke. Rena. Okay, thanks, Hench. Good joke there too. Appreciate your advice. UI oil is a hard one for me to cut out. Been trying there. Yeah, I think just slowly cut it down over time is probably the best tactic. Jotaro. Do I like the He-Man cartoon? I used to when I was a lad. Yeah. I probably wouldn't really enjoy it so much nowadays. My mate had all the toys. All the Castle Grayskull and all that, and Cringer and the Mighty Battle Cat and all that jazz. Mitch, this is a good question. Is it okay to not be sore or just a little sore when doing bodybuilding type workouts? I go hard every time. Question: are you improving every week or two? Are your weights going up? Are you growing? And if the answer is yes, then very obviously it's okay. And if the answer is no, maybe you're not quite going hard enough. But normally you're only excessively sore when it's like a new stimulus and you're not used to it. After a while, you should become quite conditioned. And yeah, oftentimes you won't be sore or very minimally sore. I vary. My chest can be like agony. My delts are really sore. My traps are never really sore, but they've grown really well. So it's not really an indicator of how hard you've trained. It's kind of more of an indicator of how conditioned you are to that level of training, I would say. But yeah, the proof of the pudding's in the eating. If you're improving, you've got nothing to worry about, have you? Which I'm taking it, you probably are. Nice, man. This super chat. Aslan very generously donated £2.99 on the super chat. Could give more if I could have a question lower down. What this mean? Could give more if I could have a question lower down, question mark lower down. Sorry, Aslan, what is it that you're saying? My brain's not working because I don't eat any meat. Let me know. Let me know what you're saying there, and I'll try and speak to it. Sorry, I'm Dippy, and thanks for the super chat. Big Spoon Bear, what is your favourite thing to make with silken tofu? The orange frosted chocolate brownies from our Gem. Where do you get your protein cookbook? They're bloody delicious. They're there for the topping, basically. Oh God, I just jumped for no reason. Yvonne, what was your reason to be vegan? I went vegan after seeing Gary Orfsky videos. Yeah, and the animals suffer. Do a great job. We need more people like you. Thank you very much, Yvonne. You're very lovely, and you are welcome back here anytime. Believe it or not. You might not be surprised to hear that. For me, I went whole foods plant-based because I saw the health implications of not doing so. It was really like 2 years before, and funnily enough, it was Gary Yourofsky's adapt.org website. I accidentally saw, what happens. And I saw this poor cow. She was being funneled to the kill floor and being cattle prodded, and I saw the fear on her face, she was thrashing, frantically trying to turn around in this narrow corridor, which was an impossibility. And I just saw that she did not want to go in there, she knew what was going to happen. And I was devastated. I went to pieces, and I thought, wow, this sort of thing used to be my fault, and I just couldn't believe it. And so I would say I am vegan. Really because of Gary Yourofsky, first of all. And just seeing that animals, they look different from us, but in the ways that matter, emotionally, they're the same. They seek pleasure. They want love. They run from violence. They scream under the knife, exactly the same as we do. And they have pain receptors. And how do you humanely kill someone who doesn't want to die? It's all bullshit, isn't it? Pardon my French. And I swallowed a lot of it, and I was gutted. And so I would say I'm here now because of seeing animals suffer. So I'm a vegan activist because of animal suffering. But my nutrition, I went plant-based because I didn't want to be the cause of my own death, like probably 75% of people in the West are. So quite a selfish reason initially. Right, I'm just looking for questiones so I can catch up a bit. John Galt, do you believe that starches have played a key role in our evolution? That is certainly one popular hypothesis postulated by Dr. Richard Wrangham of is he in Harvard? And he says getting massive amounts of starches, sources like tubers or whatever, legumes, grains. You know, we then had big fuel sources, and that helped our brains to grow so much quicker. Some people, a lot of people, historically, the idea was, hunting grew our brains, like having masses of meat available. Well, number one, you're not hunting until you've developed tools and like weapons, and that was the cleverest thing we did. So you didn't develop your brain before you developed the weapons. So that would lead me to think likely that he is right. I would think that likely he's right. Blix says, Paul, what do you think of this? I take it this is your breakfast. Oats, berries, chia flax, Brazil, amla. Great. It's exactly the way that I eat. Thanks, Del. Bloodhill, if you're taking a vasodilator to deal with arterial-based erectile dysfunction, do not run a risk of loosening a clot or embolism, eventually leading to a heart attack. Do you reckon? Oh, I'm no physician. I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't know. So I'm not going to guess at that one. But it's certainly better to treat things naturally, by and large, isn't it? So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there are some negatives. Sarah, are people ever surprised by how much you eat? They're never not surprised, is the answer. A lot of people comment on what I eat lately. I'm losing weight and training hard 6 times a week. But they seem shocked I don't live off nibbles. Yeah, people are silly, aren't they? You know, I've been to like a carvery sort of meal before, and had a massive plate of vegetables, a little bit of potatoes. I bought my own like nut roast, had water with it. Had no dessert. I think I had 2 plates of it. And then other people had like 1 plate, but they had meat on there. They had like roast potatoes in oil, which I didn't. Had all the gravy. Maybe they drank 2 pints of beer. And they had a big old dessert. And they're telling me, oh, how come you're not fat? Like you're eating 2 plates of food. And I'm thinking, most of this was vegetables. Like you're probably eating 3 or 4 times the amount of calories that I'm eating. So, yeah, look at yourself. Blix says, how about this lunch? Black beans, chickpeas, quinoa, kale, nutritionist. I think you know the answer. I'm very impressed. Mind versus misery. Where do you stand in the omega-3 supplement controversy? Michael Greger against omega-3 supplement. I don't believe that's right. I believe he's pro DHA supplements. Clapper certainly is against. My feeling is that likely the science was done on fish oil because no one bothers doing studies on like vegan omega supplements. And so, you know, the oceans are the sewers of mankind. Everything bio-magnifies up the food chain to get exponentially more times as you go up, you know, like from plant foods to small fish to medium fish to big fish to massive fish to humongous fish. This is where we get the oils from. Where do toxins accumulate? In an animal's fat, aka in the fish's oils. And so little wonder that they don't do us a lot of good. I'm quite fond of the Shirzais, Dean and Aisha, and they've really researched this. And, you know, they say, like, the science is not conclusive, but it's looking like, you know, some people, like young people, the elderly, pregnancy, particularly, may benefit from a plump, you know, from an algae-based omega-3 supplement. I certainly don't take more than the 250 milligram dose, which seems to be where fish eaters can have a benefit over vegans in 1 or 2 ways. So I don't go above that. So basically, I take my Viva Life supplement. I just take it 3 times a week instead of the 7, and that gives me about 250 milligrams a day. But the answer is, I don't think we really know for sure. Bjorn, not a global CEO, just your friendly neighbourhood electrician. Well, you're very, very kind then, and really appreciate you, my friend. Eat plants with soup. Well, this just jumps like crazy. Mooncat, the new He-Man by Kevin Smith looks awesome. Oh, I've not seen that. She-Ra. I don't think she was He-Man's girlfriend. I think that was a totally different show, but don't quote me. I think that's just wishful thinking and how you females just love a bit of a romance story. Sebastian, how's your son handling day 2 of plant-based? He popped in a minute ago and he said he was doing all right. He said he's doing all right. So that's good. Funnily enough, when I'm in the gym, I often shout something like, "By the power of broccoli," before I do a lift. So that sort of ties in, doesn't it? Aslan wanted to know how to calculate my daily maintenance calories, right? So I know how much I need to eat, and if need be, drop some calories for fat loss. How is the total daily energy expenditure calculated? Right. Full screen capture. TDEE. So yeah, you just get whatever one. You put in imperial metric, sex, age, weight, height, activity levels. So got all this going on. For most people, I tend to go in at about moderate. Body fat percentage, if you've got a rough idea. A good way to check that out is just to look for an image. Images, male body fat percentages. You can just get an image up. Some are better than others, but you can just have a look, roughly on the scale of things, do you think you've got all the way to go from there, or are you pretty darn lean? You just get a rough idea. It don't have to be exact. It's just trial and error, really. You just want a ballpark figure, and then weekly, re-weigh, and then titrate your calories relative to what the scales are actually doing. But this is good for a ballpark figure. That's it. So Shall I see what it suggests and see how accurate it is for me? So I'm 47, 6 foot, moderate. I suppose I'm doing heavy exercise really. Body fat, I don't know, I'm probably not quite 15, but that'll do. Fill out the form correctly. What have I missed? How dare you? Male. Oh, wait. Oh, I didn't put my weight. What is I think I'm 16 stone, which is 16 times 14 pounds, and then plus, oh god, times 7 plus 7, so I'm about 231. I'm about 231 pounds. It reckons I need 2,300 calories to maintain. I actually need about 4,500. So, is this for sedentary? Oh no. So I did put heavy exercise. So actually, it would have said 3,300. So it's still about 1,200 calories out. So that was a bit shit, really, wasn't it? But for most people, it is pretty much bang on the money most of the time in my experience, and I've used that a hell of a lot for my clients, you know, as a PT. So yeah, that's that. So I hope that helps. That sounds good, Flatlander. Nice. Mitch, thanks for the answer. Yes, I do improve every workout or every single week. And now that I think about it, first couple of weeks of my new workout program, I was more sore. Yeah, so I think you're doing absolutely fine. I think your body's adapted to the new stimulus, and you're obviously doing enough to you know, to stimulate new muscle growth. I think that's a good sign. Thanks, Yvonne. You are very kind. Lolly, Hench, seen a couple of instances lately where you've given really good detailed info on certain exercises, MMA stuff, etc. I found it really interesting. Wow. Would you make vids about that, like workout techniques? To be honest, workout videos don't do very well for me at all. So I sometimes do a little bit of a montage in my vlogs, but yeah, I'd be loath to make workout videos as such, but simply because, you know, this is a fitness channel, but there's a lot of other fitness channels doing purely that, and that's their niche, and they've grown their audience for that. My audience is probably more here for like nutrition stuff. So it just, I think, never will do very well. So it's kind of not pointless, but I could spend my time like better. I have got some videos on martial arts though, which I made a long time ago. Probably a lot of people don't realise that I've got them. Can you search for playlists? Hench Herbivore self-protection playlist. Ah, look at that. So here we go. What was a good one? I think this one was fun.
Hi, it's Paul from Hench Herbivore with How to Throw an Uppercut.
Horrible sound.
Not aware, it's come on top.
I was a lot skinnier.
Okay.
I was a lot skinnier. Now, why don't carnivore dieters talk about how much mass I've put on since I started YouTube as a vegan? They never seem to speak to that. I wonder why that is.
That's when uppercuts come into their own. If you're aware that you should be switched on, you're controlling distance with your hands, as I talked about in episode 1.
I think there's a funny bit at the end of this.
To make space. Okay, and then when you decide, you know, you need to take him out.
There's a funny outtake at the end, I think.
This is how to throw an uppercut. Ah! If you eat plants, you can punch just as good as
me. Well, that was very silly, wasn't it, boys and girls? Right. Boom. Then I have got some exercise videos. Again, if you type in Hench Herbivore workouts playlist, I think you'll likely get a few bodybuilding type videos. But I've not done them for a long while. Big Spoon Bear, have you got a favourite for Eddie Hurl versus Thor? Thor. I'm a Game of Thrones fan, what can I say? And I do like Eddie Hall. He's got a good personality, I think. He seems like a nice guy, but I just hate how stupid he is about nutrition and how, you know, he's been given this great advice that, for instance, his serum LDL is through the roof and he's a walking heart attack waiting to happen, and it just didn't register. He spent all this money on tests. It's like he didn't hear it. So it makes me angry when people are that dumb. When it's life or death, and he's showing people, you know, I'm the strongest bloke in the world, this is what I eat, and then impressionable like bellends are going to eat the same horrible diet, and you can do just as well, if not better, as a vegan. Where's my music? Well, am I miles behind? Here we go. Blix says, Paul, when you had digestive issues, were you stressed? No. No, it was small intestinal bacterial overgrowth that was the issue there. I wasn't stressed. I think I was eating too much volume of food, like too regularly. I should have been eating like more spaced out. I think that's what probably happened, from what I understand now about SIBO. Oh, 1 man, 1 year, 1 fiddy. My good friend Jason from the Gram. Subscribed to him. Less than 2 months from my first vegan anniversary. Man, that's seen up. Oh, hello friends. Miss you all. Work has been busy, so I haven't been able to come in like I want to. Well, you were missed, and it's good to see you. How's things? How are you keeping, my friend? And how's the lovely lady wife doing? Is she still training? John Galt, you look great for your age. Well, I love you. You are welcome back anytime. Andre, I thinking about a whole foods protein bar. Picture this: toasted dehydrated lupini beans as the base. Yeah, I think they're the most. Are they the most protein-rich legume of them all? I think I read that somewhere. Hemp seeds and other stuff for texture and flavour. I mean, there's a good potential for a lot of protein, but it's whether you can make it tasty, isn't it? That's the trick. Dehydrated lupini beans. Would they still be like soft though, or would that make them hard? I don't really know. Do you know? But yeah, it sounds like it's got potential, doesn't it? Yeah, I'll be interested to see how it goes. Sarah, thanks, Paul. I try not to get self-righteous about my big lunch bag. People commenting, but I never know what to say. Those comments, I'm always just like, I'm sorry you don't get to eat more. Yeah, that's a great comeback. Blix says, Hench, should I work out soon after a big breakfast? No, or if not, how much should I wait? At least an hour and a half, preferably 2 hours, so that the food is actually not sitting in your stomach. It's either in the small intestine, some of it's seeped into the bloodstream to fuel you. You're welcome, Aslan. Thomas Dennis. Hi, Paul. How's this for lunch? Carrots, peppers, onion, red and white. I would just have the red because it's got 76% more antioxidants. But I don't know. Probably some benefit to the white as well, is there? I don't know. Beetroot, radish, olives. Olives I'm not a big fan of because of the amount of sodium. Unless they're... I did find out you can get salt-free olives. That's interesting. Mixed nuts, raisins, sweet corn, kidney beans, chickpeas, hummus, falafel, spinach, sauerkraut, drizzle of spicy... vegan mayo. I'm not a fan of like mayos with like oils and things, and like, was the falafels fried? Did the hummus have a load of oil in? It sounds bloody delicious, and I'm sure you can get quite a whole foodsy. You have got a lot of whole foods in it, so it sounds very good. Sounds very good. Yeah, good on you, good man, and no animals, which is the main thing, isn't it? Yeah, well done, Thomas Dennis. Mind versus misery. A question about muscle building. How many times a week do you hit each muscle? Twice. I'm currently doing 5 workouts a week and trying to do upper-lower splits with mostly compound lifts. So you're doing upper body, lower body, upper body, lower body, upper body, 2 days off, and then the reverse. Yeah, that sounds fine. As long as you're progressing, you got your, so that's obviously your frequency. Then you need to have like your intensity, your volume, number of exercises, sets, intensity of your reps. As long as it's in balance and you're progressing, it's right. Mine versus Misery. Another thing, if you ever go to Sweden, I am still offering to buy you a lunch and non-alcoholic beer. Well, if I come to Sweden, I will take you up on that kind offer. Thank you, Mine versus Misery. That's nice. I've never had so many blinking friends, I'll tell you. It's very nice. JR, how do I know if I'm progressing normally and gaining muscle as I'm supposed to? Like, I work out for 6 months, see lots of progress, but is it what I'm supposed to? I don't know that there is a supposed to. I think we're all individuals. Could I get more? How to know? Well, I guess you just up the ante. You have your basic program, write down your rep sets, wait, see how fast you're progressing, and then, you know, try like training a bit harder the next week. And if you start gaining quicker, that's right. And if you come to a grinding halt because you're overdoing it, you're done effed up. Then you want to go back to what you were doing. JR, also, I think it's difficult to know if I'm in a caloric surplus. It's really not. Help, counting stuff. I think the apps are not good. It's counting entire day because I eat a lot. I don't have any problems. So basically, pick an amount of calories. Eat those every day for a week. Once a week. In the morning, after the loo, before you eat or drink anything, take your weight on a decent set of scales on a hard surface. And if your body weight's gone up a bit, you're in a caloric surplus. And if your body weight stayed the same, you're not eating enough. Easy. Unknown error. Do you ever do much cardio or is it primarily lifting? Historically, well, in recent years, it's been primarily lifting. For the longest time, it was primarily martial arts training. Lately, I'm doing 4 weight training sessions a week, 2 hard cardio sessions where I'm doing hill sprints on my bicycle. And every evening we go for a walk. So whether you count that as cardio or just like sort of movement that people ought to be bloody doing for their health anyway. I don't know whether you count that as cardio or not. Jason, very well. So he's doing some 5Ks. Nice. We've been doing hikes every weekend. Super proud of her. Last week we did 2 4-milers the same day. That's a lot, man. She's obviously doing well. Bless her. Well done, guys. Cicely, this is my second try going vegan. Can I use honey? No! I used to make roasted Brussels sprouts with ginger and honey. Is maple syrup a good substitute for honey? Yeah, it's absolutely fine. I find it a lot tastier. Yeah, so if you want them to be vegan, you know, that speaks to ethics. So you can eat a plant-based diet and not be a vegan. But if you wanted to be vegan, that would mean that you are doing it for ethics because you don't want to harm animals. And simply, to get honey, we have to exploit bees. When we steal their honey, they actually work twice as hard. They panic and they work themselves to death. I think some like honeybees on average live for 42 days. When we steal the honey, they live for 21 days. They basically go mental, work their whole life. They just work themselves to death. You know, when we pull their home apart, nick the honey, we're stressing them out. We might spray them with smoke to sort of sedate them. We'll crush a load of them when we put the roof back on. And like, how would we like it if we're grafting all week, grafting away, getting food in our fridge, and then some bozo comes along, rips the roof off our house, nicks our fridge. I'll have that, and your gran gets like crushed when he puts the roof back on. You wouldn't be happy, and neither are the bees. There's other cruelty as well involving commercial installations like buying in queens and then cutting their wings so they won't fly off. And then oftentimes they may kill off the whole colony at the end of the season. They may just like kill them off. So yeah, there's a lot of cruelty, and I think with insects, like, you know, a lot of people don't really worry so much because they're small. Well, what has that got to do with someone's right to life or value? And a lot of humans are a lot smaller than me. Is it okay if I crush them underfoot? No. Yeah. Jason, thank you, Paul. You're a wonderful guy, my friend. And right back at you, brother. Right back at you. And thank you. Cicely, feeding the iguana has inspired me. Oh, so you're going vegan because you've made friends with like an animal? That's very cool. I like that. Starmanas. Private Starmanas. Hey, Hench, good evening or morning. It is evening where I am. And hi to you. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you again. Blood Hill. Lentils are 28 grams of protein per 100. I don't think they are. They might be dry weight, but I think it'll be about half that cooked weight. Or is it? I think they may vary. I think lentils may vary. Might be the truth of it. They're not 28 grams cooked weight though, which I think lupini beans are. Whatever he then quoted, was it about 24 grams? That is cooked weight, rather than like raw or dry. Nostalgic Vegan, good to see you. Thomas, thanks Paul for the insight. Been vegan for 4+ years. Nice. But we're also eating way too much crap. Good for you. This week has been big Buddha bowls, similar to what I said above. Brilliant. Buddha bowls are fantastic, aren't they? Like really tasty. Range of things, all the nutrients. Very good. Blux says, should I work out when I sleep bad? Yeah, because then you'll be more tired the next night. Jason, there's been a large boom in vegan restaurants near me now in Charlotte, North Carolina, which has been awesome. Most do their food without tons of oil. Found the ones that does the most whole food. Lovely. That's very good, isn't it? That's a great sign. I better chip off in a minute. So yeah, if you've got any more comments or questions, get them in quick. Good old Sean Gerrity. Been bike riding much lately? Yeah, daily. Well, most days. I'm either cycling to and from the gym, or I'm doing my hill sprints, or sometimes for errands if we have to go to the supermarket or something. So most days I ride my bike. Angel, hello to you. Starmanas, recently upped my fibre intake and I've been feeling bloated. Not terrible, but I'll get used to eating this much fibre eventually. You ought to, but you know, just for now, you might want to just back it down a little bit and just be a bit more gentle with it. You know, on the scale of things, it's not going to like hurt you. But yeah, you should, unless you've got some kind of, if you're unlucky and got some kind of underlying gut issue from a previously poor diet, which can happen. But 9 times out of 10, it's just a matter of, you know, developing enough of these healthy Prevotella strains of bacteria that effectively, you know, like process the fibre for you. Cicely, got it. When I was vegetarian first, and I was told I could use honey. Yeah, it's just the meat thing, isn't it? And yeah, you're very welcome, hun. You're very welcome. I'm pleased to be able to help you. I would not like that at all. No. But none of us would like our fridges to be nicked. No bozos. I love it. Yep, that does sound like a tool. Oh, Yasmin. How are you, lovely? Yasmin's Conscious Kitchen. So many products use have honey, which could easily be subbed for another liquid sweetener. Exactly. Why do people want bee vomit? It's weird if you think about it. Do you know that bees, they sort of store that in their stomach, don't they? So they sort of basically vomit it up. And then apparently they spit on it to add their saliva, which has an enzyme, which is sort of required for it to be like better for them. So you're basically eating bee vomit and bee spit. Why would you do that? And why do people eat eggs? They come out of a hen's bum vagina. If I pooed out a carrot, you would not want to eat that. Unless you're Sverige, and he probably would. He'd think that's good for you for some reason. Yasmin, thoughts on government recommendation for around 30% of calories coming from fat? I don't think it's likely optimal for our health. I really don't. I think probably half that is far healthier. You know, if you look at the data, like the Blue Zone studies, the longest lived people, I think they had about 8% of their calories as fats. These are the longest lived people on record. So why you'd think like a carnivore diet is like healthy is beyond me, or a keto diet. Mental. Rebel managed to find a peanut butter without oil and other ingredients in Lidl. Little win. Yeah, I bet that's cheap as well. So very good. Brooks says, do you lose a lot of sodium when we sleep but not sweat? I've not heard of that. I would have thought it's just when you sweat, isn't it? Cicely, by all, we love you, Hench. I love you guys too very much. Never had any mates before. I'm going to get quite emotional. Starmanas, I'm curious if you ever tried durian. I think this is the third time I've been asked this today, weirdly. I had freeze-dried durian, which was delicious. And then I had frozen durian, which thawed out, and it just seemed so minging. I didn't want to put that anywhere near my mouth or nose. But never seen fresh in my life. Jotaro, how much do our sodium requirements increase when we work out or sweat more? Various amounts based on how much you're sweating. That's my best answer. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to put a number on things, isn't it? It's hard to put a number on things. And yeah, it's not just sodium. Obviously, it's all the electrolyte. What are they called? Mineral salts. So what is it like? There's a few, but I think the main ones are like calcium, magnesium, manganese, potassium, sodium. But yeah, I don't know how you would be able to work out like your needs. I think it's sort of trial and error, really. Super chat. Jotaro, you lovely soul. £2 on the super chat. No question, he's just supporting his local neighbourhood vegan YouTuber out of the kindness of his heart. And I really appreciate him. Hey, baby. Thomas, you're going to watch the live Q&A with Dr. Greg at 8 p.m. Is that on the tubes or is that on Facebook? And probably not. I imagine I'll be doing my my evening constitutional around the woods with young Jemima Puddle Duck. Minka, I am so warm. Yeah. Yeah, tell me about it. The aerial perspective. Hello, Hench. The tuna potato recipe tastes amazing. Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I love that recipe. I need to prep this next time since I've got a little lazy on cooking. Got a question. How much junk or candy do you eat? None. 80-20. You need some eventually. You may do, but I do not. The main thing, like, with candy, with like refined sugar, you're seriously raising your risk for Alzheimer's disease, which is one of the fastest growing diseases. And it's horrible. I don't know if you've ever, had a loved one with Alzheimer's disease, but you've lost them before they've gone. You've then got to care for them. They've got to feel like, an invalid. So it's a miserable end to your life. And, they're going to be confused and scared. They're going to be scared. Like, it's no way to end your life. Like going back to sort of being more like a baby, like relying on others and, I would rather not have to go through that. So, I just kind of think of that. Like, what do I want? A donut, but a long, happy, healthy life and to be functional at the end of it and be able to take care of myself? Or do I want a shorter life with a lot of disability at the end of my life where I'm miserable, make others around me miserable? No amount of donuts is worth that in my book. Louise, do you use coconut water? Not anymore. Or would you suggest a better way to replace electrolytes? Produce. Just eat loads of fruits and vegetables, particularly celery, leafy greens. Celery is really good, particularly for sodium. You can get electrolytes powders if you need an extra boost. Coconut water, again, free sugars. So I've kind of knocked that on the head now to err on the side of caution. I think that's that answered. Rebel Vegan, I know you say to limit Brazils. What about almonds and walnuts? I don't know of anything in those that particularly needs limiting. I would say that likely a higher carb, lower fat diet is probably optimal for health. I think that we can infer from the data. So you might just not want to eat like tons of total fats, even if they are healthy ones like you get from walnuts and almonds. But yeah, in and of themselves, I don't see them as an unhealthy food. Certainly, there's no nutrients that are super concentrated, which would cause you an issue. Dried fruit is a bit candy, like it is, isn't it? I don't miss like junk foods because I just love the taste of real food now because I've reset my taste buds. As then, Hench, why do you think earlier humans ate meat? Because they didn't have a choice if they wanted to live. And how do you think they came about to do so? I think they didn't have enough fruits to eat. They couldn't find any potatoes to dig up. And I think they came across a dead animal that hadn't been dead too long, that it was rotting enough to put them off, trying to hold their nose and swallow that down. Frozen grapes are nature's candy too. I've never done that. That sounds like a great idea. That sounds good, Sean. Louise, have you tried the CaloFit sauces? Yeah, they sent me one of each sauce. What do you think of them? I mean, they're very good in terms of like taste and calorie free. Unfortunately, they're full of shit that's probably going to shorten your life. There's loads of additives. Like it's nothing healthy in there. So I choose not to use those. Sean Garrity brings up a good point. What's taters, precious? Oh, wow. I've been going longer than I meant to. Gem?
Yeah?
What time do you want to go for our walk?
Whenever you like.
Is 8 sound good to you, or do you want to go before?
8's fine.
Guys, I'm going to go till 8 this evening. If there's enough of you and you've got enough questions and things to talk about, so I don't get all self-conscious and awkward because I've got nothing to say, I'll stay on till 8 if you want me. Super chat. Once we're good with the 50, it's given me 50 lots of sex. Don't let Gemma know. I hope she didn't overhear me. Mr. Hench, what does V-Gains do well? What does V-Gains do well? That is a strangely, from my perspective, worded question, but I think he's a lovely lad. And what's your critique of him? Okay, so yeah, I've met Ferdinand, and what's his surname? Ferdy. Forgot his surname. Anyway, he's a really nice guy. I've hung out with him quite a bit. We were both Vivo Life athletes. He's left now, but I've met him a few times. We've hung out. He's been in one of my videos, one of the Veg Fests. He's very spiritually minded. I think he's had a lot of growth. For a young lad, he is super spiritual. I think he's learned a lot of great lessons. He consumes, very obviously, like a lot of information. So he's great at the spiritual stuff, kind of like the influencer game. very health conscious. You know, he went through a horrible time, but got some great lessons from it. And he says he's glad he went through it. And most people would be in pieces and devastated because, like, you know, his physique got ruined for a while. And I really admire him. I think he's wise beyond his years. Yeah, I've got a lot of love for Ferdy. Same 2 questions regarding Paul Bashir, and also if you might Simon Amstel. Yeah, I mean, I've met Paul. We did Cube together and hung out, went for a meal. He seems super nice. I know there's been a load of controversy. I didn't look at all that because I'm not like a gossip queen and I'm really disinterested. But yeah, he seemed like a great guy to me from what I saw. Obviously, he's done a lot for animals. And Simon Amstel, I saw on stage at the last camp out. I've not met him personally, but I love his activism. That Carnage show, you know, that's the most clever bit of activism I've ever seen, because I think non-vegans will be watching that, laughing their asses off at how hilarious it is. And I think it'll take a while for the penny to drop that they're laughing at their own hypocrisy, actually. And I think they'll be disarmed and they will have to, like, question, like, their beliefs and their actions. And what a genius, you know, flying in under the radar and disarming people and not causing the barriers to go up, not butting heads. What some great questions you had once were good. And thank you so much for the very generous super chat. That really helps us out. So thank you. Potatoes. Potatoes. That's it. Dates are nature's caramel, aren't they? I eat 250 grams every day currently. Thomas, last question. Where do you prefer to get your produce, supermarket versus greengrocer? Our preference really is a veg box delivery. So actually from the farm, from the farmer directly. We will be getting a lot of our produce. We get our tropical fruits currently from like an online greengrocer. We will be getting more of our standard produce from the same person, but under a different name. So it's exoticfruits.co.uk for the fruit. It will be my greengrocer when he gets the produce ready. And I'll tell you what, I had some of the produce he can source, and it was amazing. Some of the best produce I've ever eaten. Yeah, but typically supermarkets for ease currently. Also, we were doing really well financially, so we were doing the veg box thing because they're a bit more expensive. But then for a while, we were not. Well, yeah, we'll find it a bit harder to get by because the YouTube thing went a bit naff financially for a while in recent months. So we had to basically get our food from a supermarket with all the plastics, which we didn't like. But you can only do what you can do, can't you? So whether, you know, things continue the way they are, since we brought the course out, finances have been much better. So if that continues like that, hopefully we can then, you know, be a bit better in terms of plastics consumption, which would be very good. You're welcome, Louise and Rebel and Blugsters. Nostalgic vegan. I don't really want to talk about that in the stream. Andre very kindly donated $2.22 Canadian. Let me buy you a can of lupini beans. I've never had them, so I will take that money and I will buy a can of lupini beans. Thank you. That's very kind, Andre. Bless your heart. Cheers, buddy. Looking for questiones. You're welcome, Lolly. Ethan, private Ethan, good to see you. Joe Teray, I do watch Brian Turner. I'm a big fan. Justin Boom, just when I was thinking Hench might be streaming. Good hunch. Sarah, would putting chia seeds in oatmeal while cooking mess with omega-3s? If so, how much would you recommend it? I guess you're asking, like, can heat destroy omega-3? Not in whole foods form, but if you were to heat oils, that would destroy the omega-3. So another reason to avoid oils and eat whole foods. Super chat. Mr. Hench, sorry, I meant vegan canes. Oh, what does he... thanks for another super chat, by the way. You didn't have to do that. That's really kind. Was he good? What could you do better? Also, did you know that only 3 people on Castle of Carnage are vegan? I did not know that. That's crazy. That's crazy. What did he do? Good. He's super intelligent. He's done a lot of good. I would like to see him like take his ego out of the equation a bit more. I think like he has trouble being nice to people, like not coming across like an a-hole to people, and I think that rubs people up the wrong way. But having said that, he's probably turned a lot more people vegan than I have, so maybe I need to be more of an a-hole. I think we need all different kinds of people, so I don't want to criticise him really. He's done a lot of good. Yeah, I think he could be a bit nicer, but who knows? Maybe people like people not being nice. Angel Cooper, a person called Emily wants to do a video about you and Gemma if you haven't seen. I've heard, I've not bothered watching it. After seeing her other channel, I'm not keen on it, let's say. Yeah, she just got on my tits one day, so I just blocked her. And then she made a load of arsehole comments apparently, but I couldn't give a shit. I've never watched anyone's cruel video about me. I've never bothered watching them. And in that way, you can't get annoyed, can you? Looking for questions. Aerial perspective, what do you eat when you crave sweet stuff? Fruit, particularly dried fruits or tropical fruits. Very good. Senshi, that's a cool name. Hi, one question. Why is coconut oil bad for you? Long and very long chain triglycerides, which are the types of fat found in animal products, which are the cause of elevated serum LDL, which is the only critical risk factor for heart disease, which is the #1 killer in the world. Even if you're physically active, is it not good at all? I don't believe so. I mean, yeah, how does that work? Because if say you weren't in a caloric excess, surely you would be burning the fuel. But I wouldn't risk it. Like it can stick to your artery walls basically, and it's worse than beef fat. So, and yeah, you get very fit people dying of heart attacks. So no, I wouldn't be eating it no matter how active I was. Great question. Sean Gerrity, where can we get Hench Herbivore t-shirts? 1 second. Hench Herbivore website. I'll make it easy for you. henchherbivore.com shop. Teespring. Beep, beep. Copy, beep. We've actually got dozens of, a few different designs and dozens of different products. So here's the website, and thanks for asking. We don't do a lot in terms of clothing sales, so it'd be good if we sold a few. That's then. Hench, what exercises would you suggest for someone stuck indoors with no equipment and getting back into it? I think it'd be very limited. It'd be hard to do a very well balanced routine, like hitting all your muscles and helping you to get a balanced physique. Ideally, you'd spend a bit of money on, like, I don't know, a chin-up bar or like a few free weights. But yeah, it's really body weight exercises, isn't it? So press ups, dips. I guess you could do like Bulgarian split squats. So you got your foot on your bed or something behind you, and then you're doing like a sort of squat with your other foot on the floor. That'd be quite a hard exercise. Or you can do pistol squats if you're fit enough to have one leg out in front. To work your back, I mean, you could, if you can get under your dining table and pull your chest up to the dining table, that would be working your back, so recline row. Get some cans of stuff in bags. And I mean, I guess you could do some curls, some like extensions for the arms, lateral raises. Oh, you're always doing that with 2 chairs during lockdown. What else could you do? You want some sort of posterior chain, like deadlift movement pattern. So like a heavy bag, I would grab a wall, grab like a door frame with the right hand, have your right foot on the floor, in the left hand have a heavy bag with stuff, and do like a one-legged Romanian deadlift. So you're just hip hinging and your base leg's just a bit bent, and you're using your bum basically to straighten up. So you're working your posterior chain, low back, glutes, hamstrings. So that way you've got a posterior chain dominant exercise, a quad dominant exercise, some chest presses. You could do pike press ups. So you've got your bum up in the air and you do a press up where the weight is shifting towards your shoulders. So work your shoulders, recline low through your chest. Yeah, that would be pretty decent, really. That'd be pretty decent. Ideally get, a bench and a barbell and a few dumbbells, but yeah, you could do body weight and still have a decent exercise workout. Just have your ball with your foot on your doorstep, and again have a heavy bag. You could even have that on your back, and you could do calf raises. Just hold on to something and do calf raises in your doorway, and of course a bit of core work. Yeah, you have a decent workout. Sean Garrity, well, check out the roadmap on his forearm. Well, thank you very much. Once we're good, you lovely soul. That's so generous. 100 lots of sex on the super chat. Really appreciate you, because if it's not for people like you, I can't keep doing this. So thank you so much. Mr. Hench, a vegan friend thinks it won't be war for animals in future, but no big changes happen without people dying. Hitler gay people, USA's or black people. Mr. Hench, are we vegans naive? I'm not sure I get it. A vegan friend thinks it won't be war for animals in the future. I'm not sure I entirely get what you're trying to say. You might want to just rephrase that slightly. I don't know if it's because I don't eat any meat and my brain's stupid. Vegan friend says it won't be war for animals in the future. So you saying like you think there'll be a big war over people eating animals? I don't really know what you mean. Yeah, I'm a bit confused. I'm sorry. I'm sure that's a perfectly good question, but for some reason I can't quite get my head around it. So yeah, just try and rephrase that slightly and see if my poor old brain can give you a bit of a better answer. Right, where was I? Just while I'm waiting for Once We're Good to give me a bit more context. Where the hell was I? Errol, do you suppose a lot of people are going vegan and giving up this lifestyle? Oh, so are there more vegans being made than people leaving veganism? Yeah, by a long shot. Yeah, I'm very confident about that. In real life, I know so few people who've given up veganism. The most people I know who've given up veganism are because I'm an influencer, and I happen to know like Tim Sheaf and Raw Varner and people like this. I've actually come into contact with them. If it wasn't for YouTube and being an influencer, I think I know, in real life, I know a couple of people who stopped being vegan. One was because they had SIBO and they didn't want to treat it. So that could have been solved. Not sure why the other one did. Probably just liked eating animals too much. Rebel, Hench, what do you think of Nimoy Delgado? I think he's amazing. To have a vegan in the top bodybuilding federation in the world, I think he's very, again, like Ferdy, he's very spiritually advanced. He's trying to do good in the world. Yeah, love him. And again, I've met him personally. I've hung out a few times. A really lovely guy. You didn't have to do another super chat, bless you, but that's very kind. Thank you once were good. I'm vegan. I think there'll be a war to end the suffering for animals. I don't know why there would be a war, because who would be fighting it? It wouldn't be vegan to kill humans, because we are a type of animal. We're an ape. We're a primate. My vegan friends think there won't be war. I don't think there'll be a war. No. I think just slowly over time, more and more people will stop eating animals because they've gone vegan, or because like lab-grown meat will be cheaper. I think it'll just slowly die out, but I don't think there'll be a war. I'm as vegan as they come. And yeah, I have fantasized about certain things, because I used to be a doorman. When I was protecting others, it involved getting my hands dirty. And I have in the past sort of thought back to that and just felt bad that I wasn't physically doing something. And I've been doing my cardio, so I'll do my cardio on the cross train, again, really hard. I have my Vikings music on, which don't help. There's a very violent show, which I really love. And I would have a daydream about going into a slaughterhouse and just smashing the workers so they couldn't hurt the animals. But of course, you can't fight for peace. If you're trying to promote peace, you can't fight for peace. You need to be peaceful. You need to lead by example. You need to protest. You need to change legislation. You need to kill the demand rather than the supply. So the way I fight now is to make videos and to share truth and to share my story. And it wouldn't do me good if I was to hurt someone. Non-vegans will say, "Oh, vegans are mental. They love animals, but they hurt humans." It's not going to work. It's not going to work. So no, I don't think so. No, I really don't. Yeah, but interesting question. I've never thought about that before. That was an interesting one. And thank you so much for your very generous donations. That's, like I say, that's keeping the cameras rolling. So thank you. What an interesting question. Right, I better go in a sec. Mr. Alex, are you going to camp out this year? Why, yes, I am. I'm just going to share a link in the chat in case anyone's coming and you want to meet up. So we've got this new community, Hench Herbivore community on Facebook. Everyone's welcome to join, and then either one or both of the days, we'll do a post, we'll decide a time and a place, and we'll all meet up. And I've just said, if you've got any camo stuff, like a hat or a jacket or whatever, bring that if you want to, and we'll do a group photo. Call us Herbivore Army, so it'll just give us a bit of branding. Don't feel obliged to do that. And yeah, it'll be really nice to meet everyone. Yeah, I'd love to meet all you guys. So that'll be very cool. About that time, isn't it? Oh, Angel, bless your heart. $4.99 on the super chat. You lovely lass. You're always really kind to me. Please, can you do a video of what you are packing to take to the camp out? Okay, I will. I'll vlog the weekend. Yeah. It's good to take a bit of your own stuff. I like to have things on hand like protein shakes, dried fruit, nuts, seeds, that sort of thing. I mean, mostly I'll eat stuff there, but sometimes the queues are mad. Sometimes I can't move because everyone wants to meet me and I get stuck somewhere for hours occasionally. Luckily, Gemma might go in there, grab me some food and bring it back to me. But it's all good. I love it. I really love meeting everyone. All right, I better go, guys, because we need to get our evening walk in. So thanks to moderators for keeping us troll-free. Thanks for the super chats, keeping the beans on my toast, the walls from the door, and the cameras rolling. If you want to optimize your health with a plant-based diet, download my free How to Eat Plant-Based Successfully e-guide. It's well good. It's a complete overview, everything you need to know. If you have questions from there, if you want to know everything about how to do all the things, basically everything you could ever hope to need to know about a vegan diet, about a plant-based diet, our new video course is out now. It's online. 14 videos, 2 e-cookbooks, massive PDFs with loads like chart of nutritional requirements by age, stage of life, just everything and anything you could ever hope to need to know, I think, is in that course. And just in case it isn't, there's actually a private Facebook group where you can ask questions as well. So, yeah, check that out if you want to. The link's below for that. Bjorn, you lovely soul. You must be the richest electrician in the West. He's kindly donated 30 knocks. Oh, and that little fox is saying bye. You're such a lovely soul, brother. Really appreciate you. All right, guys. Is that all the things? Back on tomorrow morning, about 8 or 9 a.m., give or take. Probably nearer 8. So keep an eye out for that. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I do post on there when I'm about to come on, so you can get a bit of warning in case YouTube don't give you a notification, because they are a bit crap for that. And tomorrow night it's my sister's anniversary, so we're going to that, and I think we've got to go at 5:45. So likely I'll stream about 8 or 9 a.m. and then I'll probably stream about 4 p.m. tomorrow. So a bit of a change there. Angel's going to set an alarm. Bless your heart. You guys, like there's so many of you are regulars and you're at most of the streams. Oh, if anyone is new here, you know, hit the subscribe button, click the bell icon. That we'd love you to become part of this community as well. But yeah, to you guys who turn up all the time, you really you warm my heart. You know, it's a beautiful thing. It's nice to feel wanted and valued, and just nice to have 38. I've never had 38 friends before, so thanks, guys. You are awesome. Right, I'm off. See you soon. Hopefully tomorrow. Bye for now, everyone. Catch you later. Have a good one.